Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Yesterday doesn't matter, it only serves as a ladder. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed, so make your plans accordingly. Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Grand Rising, today is a new day to start again. It is 3/4/2024. Calling in my soul tribe. That's my new thing. I'm a soul tribe of one, still working on it. I went into yesterday. All my troubles seem so far away. Now it seems as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Is it seems or looks? I think it's looks. I just botched the Beatles. I struggled with whether I should steer into my own personal life again. I've been trying to stay off of that, but I think part of the charm of these is I do bring a little bit of my own personal flavor. So I think as long as I'm ambiguous, I think it's okay. So I went to a yoga class yesterday morning, and I had a Ted Mosby moment. It was really, I didn't do it. I mean, I learned from Ted Mosby. If you're not familiar with him, he's from How I Met Your Mother, and I think it's maybe the opening pilot episode where he does it, where he says, "I love you" to a girl, like right after he meets her, and she's like, "Whoa, dude!" And then he has to recover from that for the rest of the show. All kind of ends stupid, really. But I was doing my yoga thing, and I did notice there was a girl in the room, but I really tried to make sure I was focused on me, because I have a lot of energy going on right now, and I'm going into a yoga room, so I'm just trying to stay focused on myself right now. And but I was aware that there was a fairly attractive girl near me, and so I was just doing my thing, and the instructor was actually very helpful and helped me quite a bit, and in a couple different places, because I like to call myself the Star Wars characters that just had these kinds of motions. That's kind of me. And I eventually want to get to G.I. Joe, which had like the Kung Fu grip, which could allow your guy to move a lot more and you could do better poses. That's kind of what I am. So I'm trying to get to, but it's going to take a lot of work. And I was trying to do it on my own, but I think if I get into like a social setting like that, I might be able to improve. So it's one place where I really want to get better. Anyway, so all this is, but while I was doing another thing, I'm trying to get my legs stretched, and out of nowhere, this girl pops up in front of me, and she was beautiful. I don't know what she is, if she's available or not, but to me, I'm like, it was so funny because I was telling a guy about it, and I was given this descriptive, and so she has a strap, and she actually helps me put it on my foot to help me like pull my leg out more. And I'm just sitting there going, and he said it, he goes, you were like, "Will you marry me?" I'm like, ah. And then she went off. And what was really funny was at the end of the session, I was having more of an interaction with the instructor, and she was being very polite. But I could tell that she was very similar, because I'm having to look around to see how to do these poses, that she's very kind of similar, that she doesn't have the exact same, but she's dealing with some of the same things I have with my hip flexors. And so I'm mimicking her a little bit, and it just was a very neat experience. And then I said I was going to go to the sauna. I was asking after the yoga class to the instructor, and then she goes, "Oh, I'm on my way there now." And I'm like, "Well, okay." So I'm like, "Calm down, David." Then I go and get everything ready, and I'm trying to stay cool because I'm already eager, and this girl may not even have any, that this just kind of, it seems a little. So anyways, I get everything ready, and I go to the sauna, and the sauna's full, and I can't see in there, and it's not polite to open the sauna door because you keep letting the air out, and it's crowded. There's people standing up. So I'm like, I'm not going in there. So I went back to go swim, And then I noticed that there was another sauna that they'd built. So I'm like, cool, I'm going to go to that sauna and hope that she's in there. She was not. I got in there. I positioned myself so I could see the door for the other sauna, just to be like, what did I do here? Should have I went into that stupid thing? And then she did come out and she walked along, and I was thinking to myself and talking to some of the people in the sauna that I was with. And it was very funny. And we just all decided that it was probably all for the best. So that was my story. Maybe later it'll be a better time, but I didn't feel like it was a good. I didn't want to go into a crowded sauna to chase something that I had no idea about. And I'm not going to come out of the sauna, but hey, you remember me? So hopefully we'll bump into each other again, and maybe she's married, and this is all for naught. I also thought it was funny that everyone at the YMCA, I've been there a lot, and this last particular time, and I had no symbology on or anything. It actually happened first in the yoga place, but it was referenced to me that YMCA was a Christian establishment. And I had several different people talk to me about Christ. And when you're in a Christ conversation with somebody that is biblical, it's very authoritative, because literally if you don't agree, you're damned to hell. So it's a very challenging situation, because I resonate with almost all of it, and these are the people that I actually think I might be, I don't want to overstate it, but called to try to preach to sing my song in a different way so that they can see it in a different way. Might be what my purpose is. Then I went into, so I'm just jumping all over the place here. Later that day, I went to the Goodwill, because that's kind of my entertainment now, as I give myself a little budget and I go into Goodwill and I see if there's anything that I want to purchase, and I try to work on my impulse control, because it's not as heavily marketed as Walmart. Walmart, you have to be very strict with yourself. Anywhere you go where they're designed to, like, and all places are, and some are better than others, you have to be on your toes. So anyways, I'm at the Goodwill, and there's this guy trying on a vest, this black guy. And I'm just being friendly as I walk by, and I go, I like a good vest. And he goes, me too, man. This pocket right here, this is where I want to hide my gun. I swear. That's what he said. And I was like, okay. I wasn't going there, but if that's where you're going to go. And he had gold teeth, and he was smiling like he was like a friendly guy, and we're bonding like bros, and that I would not be. And I tried to react that way. I was like, that's cool. As long as you're not turning that gun on me, I'm cool with it, I guess. It's right to carry, whatever. And so we have a kind of a funny exchange there. And then he comes back and basically wants to say, I appreciate that you just kind of like let that happen. And I was like, cool. Then we got real deep, and somehow it turned into both of us, I love you, bros. And then after the I love you, bros, he felt so compelled, he came back and gave me a hug. And I have to admit, I had a little bit of like, am I watching my wallet here? Where is it? As he's hugging me. But he was very respectful and came up high and made sure nothing went down low. And it was a really cool moment, because I'm standing toe to toe with a guy that could fucking kill me like that. Probably. I mean, because especially if he has a gun, because I don't got one. Pretty cool moment, though, actually. And so then we interacted the rest. What's funny, though, is when you have a big, great moment like that, but then I'm like ready to move on, and probably he is too. I'm like, I don't know that we're going to hang out all day today. But we're still in the same store, and we've had this moment, so we bump into each other a few more times. And we're both like, should we reopen this up again? I don't know. It was pretty good how we left it. And so I thought it was very funny. Am I a Christian? That came up. Or am I a follower of the path of Jesus? Why must I define this to you? I found it to be about rules. That was brought up several times in the people that have this very strong biblical understanding. That is a polarity of heaven and hell. It was said twice to me, interestingly enough. I thought it was about the rules when I was trying to be very delicate in conversation with people that truly believe that if you believe in Christ, you go to heaven, and if you do not, you do not. Whatever hell is. Anyways, Christianity is about following God's rule, I think is how they try to basically structure it. And I say I agree, but I just call it natural law. And I think it is really pretty close to the same. There's just some variations that I think that have been put in place that are not needed. And you say I am the problem. Do you want to talk about the Bible, the book? Do you want to talk about resurrection? Do you want to talk about crucifixion? There's some other ones too. Do you want to talk about, Adam and Eve? And then Jesus and how they're connected in a book. Do you want to talk about dark ages? Do you know what the dark ages are? Do you know when the dark ages were? I'm really exhausted with it, honestly. This is why I cry, but I want to sing. What if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us. Just a stranger on a bus trying to make his way home. Home. That's what I'm going to be doing my Fresh Eyes tomorrow is 6 a.m. I know I'm taking it a little too serious. It's just me doing my thing. I do really enjoy doing it, so I'm going to keep doing it. Whatever. But that's what I'm going to be doing today, is really focusing on home. I do think that or whatever you want to call it, I am, some people call it I am, whatever mantra you want to use of finding that center point, you need to do it when you're called to do it. And you need to do it until you're called to go. And I think that's where I am at today and right now. So it's really kind of resonating all at the same time. And I really do want to investigate home and understand it. Because, so what I do is tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., I open up live and I'm going to read a Bible verse. That's one thing I wanted to do, was incorporate the Bible into my studies and understanding of everything and give it a full. So what I do is I pick a random Bible verse and I read it. And then what I'm going to do, I keep saying I'm going to do, but I will, is go back to each of these and I'm going to do my written analysis of that Bible verse. So I don't want to do too much, and I try to be very respectful. I do honor and think that the Bible is something that we should all read, but I want to do my analysis on a follow-up as opposed to on the fly. But I do open it up whenever so after that, then I'll go into home. Home is my subject for this week. It'll be a different subject each week. And then I'll do my little thing. And then I'm going to open it up for if anyone wants to get on. You can chat while I'm doing my stuff, and I'll go back and I'll try to read through. I'm going to try not to read the chat too much. I get excited, though, because I've had like 3 people chat. And I'm like, hi! Oh! It's kind of like with that girl. Oh! Don't go. I promise I get better. I'm not crazy, I'm just a little unwell. I know right now you can't tell. Stay a while, and maybe then you'll see a different side of me. I've been enjoying doing these videos. I really enjoy the part of N. Like, when I first started to get into, I went to the original gods. I think that's what most people do, right? What's the first written God? Which one is it? And I think it's N and NL or L. I think that's Sumerian. I get an occasional comment from an old video that really helps me know the new day is kind of gaining, or at least has some relevance. I enjoy that. It's really cool. Like I got one from like a week ago, and just somebody put in there, they didn't even like the video, but they did put a comment, said, I really enjoyed it, and thank you. And I'm like, cool. One thing I have been focusing on recently too are the north and south node. I really don't think it's north and south though. I think it's north, and then there's just another node or another thing that's, I don't think that they're actually bipolar. But I know it's different. I think north node might be associated with father though, and I think south node might be associated with mother, even though they're both lunar based, I think. Or maybe they're not. Maybe they've just been connected through lunar base, but they're not. We just know that there's, the node thing is really weird. I think there's something there. I got never that, oh, it's never that simple. There's always something there, it seems like. People think that the Tao is boring. And I think that's hilarious. Because my life has not been boring since I really got enthralled into the Tao and the Tao Te Ching. I think it's the funniest joke of all time, honestly. It's the trick of peace. In the Tao, you have no enemies. That's what you learn from it. So when I laugh at you, when you're scolding me, when you're at me, I'm actually laughing at my friend. Even when you hit me and you laugh back, you're just like, or cry, whatever you're doing in the situation, you're crying with or laughing with. And they are, what it is, what's funny is, the reason why I'm laughing is you think that you're important in that situation. And I just see basically the element. And if I really wanted to, I could just flip the table. If I looked at you and coldly said, you are not important. And if I connect with you and like, you're not important. This means nothing. Look in the eyes. This means nothing. You are not important. I follow the way. And scolding of any kind is too hot. It's not the way. That's when we break into a musical. That would be so funny. Be like, I win. Ha ha! The emperor has no clothes. The emperor has no clothes. Is the same kind of kid or person. That's what it all comes down to. You got to be 8 years old, man. It's the same one that pulled Excalibur. No one else could do it. But that 8-year-old pure, and then, yeah, but he created the round table. He tried. I made it through a whole video without talking about DT. Do you think DT has anything? Man, there are some people that are really on board, and I don't like it. Some calling him 47. That's the new name. It's a number, dude. It's an office. Everyone is very excited about that money, money, money. Or is it going to be digital? Digital and AI. Ooh, it's going to go fast. There's a lot of I told you so going on in that tone too. I told you so, but I told you so. And it gets louder. If you got enough people going, I told you so, then you can really make a lot of big movements. But that doesn't make them right. And there's so many people. That's what happens though. That's the trick I've found is non-aggression wins. So as aggression gets bigger and bigger, it falls on its face. It always does. I'm going to stay in my lane. New day to start. Anyone that watches this video in these crazy fast times, boom, fast, very fast, every day, something new. There is a headline that is very big and bold. There's going to be bar graphs soon. I promise you. There's going to be some charts and stuff going on your screens very soon. And it'll be temperature gauge. It's coming. That's my prophecy. If you take your time to watch these long-winded videos, I truly thank you. I really do. It's a lot. I encourage you, if you have not, and you've made it this far, the reason why I am here is because of the Tao Te Ching. It is an ancient writing written by Lao Tzu. All of these names I've talked about extensively are words and labels. I have found that the way that the Tao Te Ching was left and how it's transformed into its modern form is using the symbology of it. And it's very, if you allow yourself, and it can be feminine, very feminine. Women can do this. I know that when you're listening to it, it seems masculine, but it's just trying to preach to your masculine self. Everyone can be whatever we need to be. That's what our role is. We are given the tools. There are tools everywhere. You can use them or not use them. I encourage the Tao Te Ching. So that's what I encourage, is to look at it. I encourage you to look at more than this. More than these videos, more than, go everywhere you want to go. But when you find it, after you've found it, it will be your own. And that is where your home is. I look forward to seeing you at home. Home. Fresh eyes, 6 a.m. tomorrow. The Tao is great. Do great. Be great. Be grateful at home. See you tomorrow or not. Have a great day.